Have you ever wondered, what if your entire life isn't really yours? What if every decision you've made, every relationship you've had, even every emotion you've ever felt, wasn't isolated, but silently orchestrated by something far greater than you? Something invisible, something ancient, something entangled. You've been taught to believe you are separate, that your mind, your body, and your choices exist in a vacuum. But what if this is the greatest illusion of all? Quantum physics, once the obscure playground of scientists and lab coats, is now cracking open the doors to a terrifying, liberating truth. Everything is connected. Not metaphorically, not spiritually, but literally. Through a strange and unsettling phenomenon called quantum entanglement. Particles that are light years apart still know what the other is doing. They react instantly, simultaneously, without touching, without speaking. Let that sink in. Now ask yourself, if subatomic particles can be entangled beyond time and space, what does that say about your own thoughts, your subconscious, your relationships, your energy? Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." But what if fate isn't just psychological? What if it's quantum? Maybe that sudden call from someone you were just thinking about wasn't a coincidence. Maybe the repeated patterns in your life weren't just bad luck. Maybe your suffering, your longing, your endless search for meaning, it's all a symptom of forgetting that you're part of a deeper field, an interconnected web of reality. Science is only now confirming what mystics, shamans, and monks have whispered for centuries. You are not separate. You are not alone. You are entangled. This isn't New Age fluff. This is physics. This is the gateway to understanding how your subconscious is not trapped inside your skull, but reaching out, constantly shaping the world you live in. The question is no longer, what is real? It's, whose mind is creating it? From the moment we are born, the script is handed to us, reality is fixed. Only what you see, hear, and touch is real. Life is linear, logical, and physical. We're taught to believe that this world is a machine made up of rigid, predictable parts, like clockwork. We're told that our minds exist inside our skulls and that emotions are just chemical side effects. Those thoughts are harmless. That consciousness is just a byproduct of the brain. But what if all of that is wrong? What if everything you know, everything you've been told to believe about reality is not the truth, but a carefully maintained illusion? What if this solid world you live in is actually built on waves of invisible energy? And more importantly, what if your mind can shape it? Modern science, especially quantum physics, is beginning to whisper a truth that mystics have shouted for centuries. Matter is not solid. The universe is not separate from you. At the most fundamental level, everything is made of energy, vibrating, pulsing, resonating energy. You, me, your phone, the stars, your thoughts, your fears, your dreams. They are all frequencies within a giant symphony. And that's where the trap begins. Because if everything is energy, and you've been convinced you're just flesh and logic, then your entire life has been spent asleep, disconnected from your true power. Your subconscious, the deepest part of you, has been broadcasting signals into the universe without your awareness. Signals built on fear, guilt, shame, and limitation. Programmed into you before you could even choose. You were told, you must work hard to deserve love. Money is scarce. You're not good enough. And these beliefs became your vibration. And that vibration, it built your life. You see, the subconscious doesn't argue. It doesn't debate facts. It doesn't care what you consciously want. It simply follows its programming, repeating the same energetic patterns again and again, projecting them outward into the quantum field like a radio tower. Now, here's where things get strange. Quantum entanglement, a principle proven in modern physics, shows that when two particles become entangled, they remain in perfect synchrony with each other, even when separated by galaxies. Change the spin of one, and the other shifts instantly, not seconds later. not after traveling through space. Instantly, as if they were never separate at all, Einstein called this spooky action at a distance. But it's real, it's been measured, it's a fact. Now pause, reflect. If tiny particles of light can remain connected through space and time, why not you? Your thoughts are not confined to your head. Your emotions are not private. They are energy, vibrations that ripple outward into the unified field, just like entangled particles. This is not a metaphor. This is measurable. This is happening. So ask yourself, when you feel joy, why does the room light up? When you're anxious, why does everything start going wrong? Why does life seem to flow when you're in love and fall apart when you're in fear? It's because your vibration is entangled with the reality you live in. The double-slit experiment, one of the most mind-bending discoveries in physics, shows that particles behave differently just by being observed. The presence of a conscious observer changes the outcome. Think about that. Just looking at something alters its behavior. Reality responds to awareness. Carl Jung understood this long before quantum physics caught up. He said, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes." And now, science is proving him right. What you focus on, what you feel, what you believe, those internal frequencies create patterns in the field around you. They entangle with possibilities. And choose one. But here's the trap. Most people live in unconscious alignment with fear. They're entangled with scarcity, pain, comparison, and rejection. And they don't even realize it. They think they're unlucky. They think this is just life. But in truth, they're trapped in a feedback loop of their own subconscious energy. Imagine this. Your mind is not a closed system. It's a transmitter, a living interface between you and the infinite. Every thought, every intention, is a signal sent into the field. And whatever is vibrating at that frequency, people, events, outcomes, resonates back. So no, the universe doesn't punish, it doesn't reward, it reflects. And if you don't take back control of your vibration, if you don't reprogram the subconscious trap, you'll keep living the same loops. Different faces, same pattern, different year, same feeling. This is the illusion, that you are separate, that you are small, that you are powerless. But the moment you understand that your thoughts are entangled with reality, that your subconscious is shaping your world in real time, everything changes. This is not wishful thinking. This is not think positive and good things happen. This is a return to first principles, to the undeniable mathematical fact that you are a field of energy, interacting with every other field around you. And just like entangled particles respond across light years, your deepest beliefs echo into every corner of your life. This isn't a fantasy. It's not philosophy dressed as science. These aren't just poetic metaphors about the universe listening to you. What you're about to hear is cold, hard data. Peer-reviewed, replicated, and largely ignored by a world still addicted to the illusion of separation. Let's start with a thought experiment. 1935. Albert Einstein, Boris Podolsky, and Nathan Rosen proposed something that would unsettle science for decades: the EPR paradox. They imagined two particles that interact and then separate. According to the rules of quantum mechanics, once entangled, these particles remain linked no matter how far apart they drift. If you measure the state of one, the other instantly reflects that change, without any signal, no transfer of information, no time delay. Einstein hated it. He mocked it as spooky action at a distance, because if it were true, it would break everything we knew about how the universe works. But decades later, in 1982, French physicist Alain Aspect put this to the test. He designed an experiment that sent entangled photons in opposite directions and measured their behavior under strict conditions. The results? When one particle was altered, its twin changed too, instantly. Faster than light, without delay, as if space and time didn't exist between them. This proved one thing beyond debate: the universe is non-local. Everything is connected in a field beyond space and time. What happens here can affect what happens there, without wires, without contact. Now, let's bring this closer to home. If subatomic particles can remain bonded across the cosmos, what about us? What about the energy field around your body? What about your heart? The HeartMath Institute, a research organization studying the intersection between physiology and consciousness, discovered something stunning. The human heart emits a powerful electromagnetic field, one that extends several feet beyond the body. But this isn't just static. This field changes depending on your emotional state. When you're calm, grateful, and loving, your heart field becomes coherent, smooth, harmonious, and it doesn't just affect your body, it influences the space around you. Other people can feel it. Environments shift, systems synchronize. Now pause. Your emotions are not just chemicals. They are vibrations that reshape reality. Your fear has a frequency. So does your joy. And your subconscious is broadcasting these signals all day, every day. Now enter Sir Roger Penrose, mathematical physicist and Nobel laureate. Along with anesthesiologist Stuart Hameroff, he made a shocking proposal. Consciousness itself may arise from quantum activity inside the brain, specifically inside microtubules, tiny structures within neurons that vibrate at quantum levels. They theorized that your thoughts, your awareness, are not just brain chemistry, but entangled phenomena interacting with the fabric of the universe. This means that when you think, you're not just generating electricity, you're tuning into a deeper field. Let's break this down. Entangled particles communicate instantly across the universe. Your heart radiates measurable energy that affects the world around you. Your consciousness may emerge from quantum processes that defy classical explanation. What does that all point to? You are not isolated. Your mind is not locked behind your eyes. Your thoughts are not private events. They are waves, signals, messages sent out to the quantum field. Every time you feel love, fear, gratitude, or guilt, you're not just experiencing something internally. You're changing the field around you. This is not mysticism. It's not New Age hype. It's the bridge between science and soul. Carl Jung knew this long ago. He described the collective unconscious, a deep psychic reservoir that connects all human beings. Modern physics may be confirming what Jung only intuited, that the boundary between you and the world is paper-thin, possibly non-existent. So if your heart creates an energy field, if your subconscious emits vibrations into the quantum web, if your consciousness itself is a quantum process, then ask yourself, what are you broadcasting? Because here's the truth, whether you're aware of it or not, your mind is speaking with the universe every single day, through emotion, through belief, through attention. When you're stuck in patterns of fear, your energy coils inward, your reality tightens. When you align with trust, gratitude, love, your signal changes, and the field responds. Just like those entangled particles, just like the photons in Aspect's lab, just like the beat of your heart syncing with another. You are participating in a living, breathing, intelligent universe. The question is no longer whether you're connected, it's whether you're conscious of that connection. Because once you become aware, truly aware, everything changes. Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. But what if what you've been calling bad luck was just old programming? What if the struggles you face aren't random, but resonant, echoes of the emotional frequencies stored deep within your subconscious? This is where quantum physics meets psychology and where your transformation begins. You see, the subconscious mind is not just a memory vault. It's not some abstract part of your brain that stores trauma or childhood dreams. It is the energetic engine behind 95% of your daily thoughts, actions, decisions, and emotions. That's not a metaphor, that's science. Dr. Bruce Lipton, a stem cell biologist and pioneer in epigenetics, made this astonishing claim after decades of research. 95% of our behavior is governed by the subconscious mind. That means only 5% of your life is under your conscious control. The rest? It's being run by programs you didn't choose, installed when you were too young to resist. From the moment you're born until about age 7, your brain operates mostly in the theta wave state, the same state used in hypnosis. You are, quite literally, in a trance. During this time, every word you hear, every belief you're exposed to, every emotional wound or praise becomes part of your subconscious code. You're not good enough. Money is hard to make. Love always ends in pain. Life is a struggle. These become vibrational commands, and the quantum field responds, not to your conscious desires, but to your subconscious frequencies. That's why you can work hard, visualize, set goals, repeat affirmations, and still fall back into the same relationships, the same financial blocks, the same self-sabotage. You don't get what you want, you get what you vibrate. Now here's the real kicker. Your subconscious doesn't care whether a belief is true or false. It only cares if it's repeated. The more a thought is charged with emotion, the deeper it gets embedded. This is why trauma can trap you, and why transformation demands more than willpower. It demands a rewriting of your inner code. So how do you do that? The first step is to recognize the loop. That inner voice saying you'll never change is the truth. It's just a program. That recurring emotional trigger, a script from your past, still running the show. Once you start seeing these patterns, you can stop identifying with them and start rewriting them. That's where tools like NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, EFT, emotional freedom technique, and meditation become life-changing. NLP works by reprogramming the subconscious through language, visual anchors, and pattern interruption. You change the way your mind associates with events, breaking free from old emotional responses. EFT, or tapping, blends cognitive awareness with acupressure points to release emotional energy stuck in the body. It's been used to heal trauma, anxiety, addiction, even chronic pain, all by communicating directly with the subconscious in its own language, energy, and emotion. And then there's meditation, the gateway. When you enter deep meditative states, theta and delta waves, you bypass the critical mind and access the subconscious directly. This is where visualization becomes more than imagination. It becomes an installation. You're no longer just thinking a new thought. You're feeling it, living it, embedding it. But none of this works if you don't first take radical responsibility for your inner world. You cannot blame your parents forever. You cannot wait for the world to change. You must look inward and ask, what frequency am I sending out? Because here's the truth. Your subconscious is not your enemy. It's a loyal servant. It has been protecting you based on the beliefs you were given. If you were told life is dangerous, your subconscious will filter everything as a threat. If you were taught love equals pain, it will sabotage intimacy to protect you. The goal is not to fight the subconscious. The goal is to upgrade it, to install new beliefs, new emotional frequencies, new commands. Instead of, I'm not worthy, you embed, I am deserving of abundance. Instead of, I always get hurt, you install, I am safe to be seen and loved. You do this not just with words, but with emotion. The subconscious speaks vibration, not vocabulary. That's why gratitude is so powerful. Why forgiveness releases energy. Why love, true, unconditional love, shifts your entire field. When you combine intention with elevated emotion, the quantum field begins to mirror it. Your heart becomes coherent. Your brain becomes synchronized. Your life begins to align. But don't expect instant fireworks. Just like a radio takes a moment to tune to a new station, your reality may lag behind your new vibration. There will be tests, delays, doubts. But if you stay consistent, if you repeat, reinforce, and re-feel the new frequency, your subconscious will adapt. And once it does, your outer world has no choice but to follow. Because remember, you are not just thinking thoughts. You are broadcasting signals into the field. And the universe responds not to what you say, but to what you truly believe. The moment your subconscious aligns with your conscious desires, your energy shifts, your reality bends, and the life you've been chasing begins chasing you. Every thought you think, every emotion you feel, every belief you hold, they don't disappear into the void. They ripple outward. They pulse through the invisible, intelligent matrix that underlies all things. They speak a language older than words, deeper than logic. They shape your life, moment by moment. You are not separate from the universe. You are not just living in it. You are in constant communication with it. Each vibration you emit becomes a message sent into the shared energy field. A frequency broadcast that magnetizes experiences, people, and outcomes that match your signal. Think of it this way. Beliefs generate emotions. Emotions fuel actions. Actions shape reality. But it all begins with what you believe. If you believe life is hard, your emotions will echo that belief. Stress, fear, doubt. Your actions will reflect hesitation, scarcity, and self-sabotage. And your reality will faithfully mirror it back. But if you shift the belief just 1 degree, the whole system starts to change. You no longer act from fear, but from clarity. You don't chase, you attract. You don't resist, you align. And suddenly, reality starts to look different. Not because it changed first, but because you did. Friedrich Nietzsche wrote, "He who has a why to live can bear almost any how." But he also said something even more mysterious and empowering. Man is the rope tied between beast and overman, a rope over an abyss. And most powerfully, one must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. What does that mean for you? It means that real power doesn't come from controlling the world. It comes from choosing your star, your guiding vibration, and aligning with it, despite the chaos. In a universe governed by energy and resonance, what you align with, you become. When your vibration matches that of fear, you live in survival. When your vibration aligns with love, you live in flow. And when your vibration resonates with truth, you become magnetic. Not because you're manipulating life, but because you're finally in tune with it. Imagine walking into a room. You don't say a word, but people feel your presence. They notice your calm, your certainty, your lightness. Why? Because your field is coherent, because your subconscious is no longer broadcasting doubt, but truth. This is the power of vibrational certainty. It's not arrogance, it's not delusion. It's the deep, quiet knowing that you are no longer reacting to life. You are co-creating it. And here's the key. You don't need permission to change your frequency. You don't need proof. You don't need a miracle. You need a decision. A decision to feel now what you once thought you could only feel after you achieved the goal. To act now like the person you wish to become. To align now with the future you desire. Not someday, but today. This is not pretending. It's pre-living. And the universe doesn't wait for results. It responds to readiness. You have the ability, right now, to choose a new energetic signature. One that says, I am enough. I am ready. I am already living the life that matches my highest truth. When you hold that frequency, not just in your head, but in your being, reality reshapes to match it. Yes, you will be tested. The universe will challenge your signal to make sure it's real. But every test is a gate. Every setback is a checkpoint. Not to punish, but to verify your alignment. So stand in your vibration, even when it shakes, even when it's lonely, even when the old version of you tries to pull you back. Because once you pass the threshold, once your subconscious, your emotions, and your actions are all unified, you unlock something most people never touch: quantum alignment. And in that state, the impossible bends, the invisible responds, the universe begins to move, not because you forced it, but because it's always been waiting for you to remember. You are not just matter. You are the field. You are the frequency. You are the star. If this message stirred something deep within you, if it awakened a truth you've always felt but never had the words to explain, don't let it fade. Like this video to send a signal into the field that you're ready for more. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss the next awakening insight. We're just getting started. And now I'd love to hear from you. What part of this message hit you the hardest? Was it the truth about the subconscious, the science behind quantum entanglement, or the realization that you are already connected to something far greater? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your lesson may be exactly what someone else needs to read today. Because remember, the conversation isn't over. It's just beginning, and your energy is already shaping what comes next.